Ms. Jones, why are you in my courtroom today?
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm suing my ex-boyfriend Mike for breach of contract for breaking our agreement to start a family when he cheated on me. Wow. And he owes me $14,300.
Tell me a little bit more before I get the defendant's side. What did he promise to do? What did he breach? And what in the world cost $15,000 almost?
Well, I was with Mike for 3 years. About a year and a half into our relationship, he said that he would propose, but he wanted to wait till he got his promotion. And we talked about having children, we talked about getting married, but he said he didn't want to do any of that until he got this promotion. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I'm of a certain age, I'm ready to have kids, and so I was kind of like wanting to put a timeline on things. He agreed to have me freeze my eggs, and this is the cost of me freezing my eggs, because I had a girlfriend who had like 3 kids, and I was saying it's about time for us to move forward. He did agree, and I have a signed contract from him.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Okay, and whose idea, just so I'm clear, Ms. Jones, who brought up the concept of kind of stopping the clock, theoretically, your biological clock, that is, to freeze the eggs? Was that your idea that he agreed to, or was that this man's idea?
Well, I told him to sort of give me a timeline, you know, and so he said that he wanted to wait for this promotion, which I actually moved with him to Texas for.
Let's go ahead and see the evidence. This is getting to be a lot here.
Alexis, just take everything
Give everything you have, ma'am, to my bailiff. Don't worry, sir. I'm going to get your side in a second. I really need to see this. Thank you, sir. Okay, let's see what we're dealing with here. This is dated, and I see 2 signatures here. Sir, that is your signature?
Yes.
So let's have a little biology lesson, Mr. Saunders. Do you know that when a baby girl is born into the world, that she's born with all of the eggs she'll ever have? Do you know that?
Yes. I mean, I'm not unfamiliar with the dating, loving, baby-making scenario and how it plays out.
Okay, great. So that's why you agreed to have this egg retrieval done, so that she could freeze her egg, so that her egg reserve wouldn't further deteriorate as she waits for you to get the promotion and the finances to support a family. Is that what y'all were agreeing to?
You know, sometimes you just say yes to get over something.
Oh my God.
You just agree. This flyer arrived in the mail celebrating a friend having a child. We're sitting down to dinner after a long day. We're emotional. We're happy. This came out of the moment.
Okay, but no one held a gun to your head, and you did voluntarily sign this.
Yes, and once again.
Okay, that's all I need from you right now. I'm gonna come back to you in a minute. Man, let's get to you. Okay, so let's see the purported expenses, because again, I'm trying to see what adds up to $14,300.
Yes.
So I see an invoice here. This looks about right. This is what we talk about when we talk about paying for a kid's rent before it's even born. Okay, and I've paid, I think, 3 years. So I understand, in New York City. I understand. And then I see this is a $3,000 invoice, Ms. Jones. What is this for?
That is when I had to move back from Plano, Texas to LA after I caught Mike cheating on me in a parking lot with his coworker.
Chose to move back. You didn't have to.
I chose to move back, but he cheated on me.
You got one more time, Mr. Saunders. Okay, so we're going to get to this, but this is your moving expenses to move away from him because you're no longer wanting to build a family with him because you're saying he's a cheater.
Right.
Mr. Saunders, what do you say about yourself as a cheater? Did you do it?
True.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Stepped out of our relationship. You can see from just this brief moments together, it's tense at home. It's combative at home. We can't agree on the same thing, even though she heard those words from the beginning. I want to wait. I want to get this promotion. Let's go to Texas.
Did you ever get the promotion?
Yes, I did.
No, I'm just, no, I really wasn't trying to be funny.
Much after she left.
Okay, so eventually you got the promotion. But before you got to that part, after you've signed this cute little baby contract, after you've asked this woman to move with you halfway across the country to support you in your professional advancement so you can make the money to have the family on your terms so that you're comfortable, which, by the way, I respect. I want to be very clear. I believe that a man should be tasked with providing and protecting his family.
And everyone would agree with that. Absolutely. If you're planning and then you're ready and you're trying and everything goes your way, that's a perfect plan. However, it rarely happens like that. And I do believe it's way better quality for a man to step up to the plate when things happen in life. And by the way, when you plan everything, nothing goes the way you planned it. There are always deviations from the plan. And for them to think that, oh, the moment he's going to get that promotion, it's all going to happen. Usually it's a lie. That's what I feel like. I do believe that was a way for him to postpone the inevitable. He didn't want to become a dad. Maybe he didn't want to become a dad with this woman, but for some reason he decided it's a good idea to keep her in his life for the time being. And maybe that promotion will never happen, and in that case his hands will be cleaned and nothing happened, but he was leading her on. And that's what I believe was happening. I do not feel that he was truly committed to this relationship and to having children in the future. And guys who are parents out there, it's always a surprise. It's a very pleasant surprise. I was very happy to find out that I was pregnant, but it is scary too at the same time, because your life is about to change forever and you don't know what's on the other side. And the truth is, you're never ready. There is never a perfect time. It's always somewhat uncomfortable, somewhat you didn't think things through. Something is always happening, but I do believe the biggest quality I'd appreciate over what the judge has mentioned is a man being able to adapt and step up and actually do what needs to be done to provide for his family. Let's go back.
But yet, before you could get to that position, you decided to run around on this woman. Tell me about that.
I would not classify that as running around. It was a mistake at a bar after a long day of work, co-workers hanging out. It wasn't planned. It just happened.
Was it the only time you cheated, sir?
Correct.
Okay.
The only time.
The only time he told me about.
Okay. Oh, so you actually you confessed this indiscretion.
I caught them.
Yes.
Oh, she caught. Okay, well,
Yeah.
never mind. You don't get no
The
credit for
only
that.
time. It's never happened
Never mind. You don't
before.
get any credit for that, Mr. Saunders. You were caught in the act. Okay.
Absolutely.
So let's go to you, Ms. Jones. After you see this man has been unfaithful, after all of this agreement and commitment, really, I want to say on both of y'all's parts, this sounds like two people that had love, commitment, and a plan. Then you, sir, by your own admission to this court, broke that plan, and you respond how, Ms. Jones?
I moved back to.
So you ended it
I moved
immediately?
back to Los Angeles. Yes, I left Plano, Texas, where I didn't know anybody. I didn't have family. I didn't have friends, and I moved back to Los Angeles.
And were you working in Plano, Texas?
I'm a teacher, so
Okay.
but I got paid much less in
Okay.
Texas.
So you
than
took
I
a pay
did.
cut to go there.
Yes.
I understand.
And he's acting like he didn't have any money. He was waiting for a promotion, but he still had a good job.
Well, he looks like he got some money today.
Well, not good enough. Not
Yeah.
good enough for two more people to come into the
No,
world.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I just credited you, sir, with the
appreciate it.
discipline to want to have the finances to support two children and a wife. So that part's good. What's not good is interrupting that plan that she committed to and you invited her to have even a one-night indiscretion, sir. That's
I
going to
agree
totally
with you.
disrupt everything.
The world is not perfect.
No, I know
we all
that.
make
And mistakes happen.
Yeah.
But guess what also happened, Mr. Saunders? Consequences.
The judge is right. There are always consequences. Whatever we do, whatever we say, have to be careful and think ahead. This gentleman, I still get a feeling that he was not that into her to begin with. And as he said, well, sometimes we say things just to calm her down, It's just so disrespectful. So there wasn't a heart-to-heart conversation between the two of them. It wasn't like they had a plan together that they were working towards. I feel like she was doing something actually to get the life that she dreamed of, and he was just along for the ride. And I don't know, guys, did you notice there is no remorse, no apologies, nothing? I just made a mistake or whatever. It is what it is. And his biological clock is not ticking, but hers is. She lost years of waiting for him. And this is why I said what I said in the first commentary. The time is now. Would now be a good time for us to have a family? There is no promotion. It doesn't matter. If it's meant to be, it will be. But if it's not, just move on. But she had to figure that out before she got involved in a long-term relationship with this gentleman who was, sorry to say, unworthy. Let's go back.
I'm not the age of the indiscretion that I caught him with.
It was a younger woman.
Yes. And now I've wasted all this time. I am the age I am now, and I'm single, and I have no
So let me ask you your
prospects.
plan. Let's get to it. We know he did what he did, and you did what you did. Now, are you planning on using these eggs with a new man? Are you thinking about a donor? Lots of women, Ms. Jones, at your particular age and mine, are pursuing single motherhood by choice. They are availing themselves to cryo banks all across the country, and they are having their children because they're no longer waiting on a man who may or may not show up for them to have the families that they want.
Right. Well, I would prefer to raise a child with a partner.
Sure.
That's why I was with Mike for so long, because I had this
Understandable.
sort of promise of my future.
What do you plan to do now, man? What's going to happen to these eggs?
I honestly.
The clock is not going backwards because he messed up.
There's even
so what
more
do you do?
pressure on
Exactly.
me. But anybody that I date, that I meet, I feel like, is this going to be the father of my child? That's
Yeah.
the kind of pressure that I did not ask for.
This is true. I really suggest, and I know this is devastating. When I tell you I've been there before, I've been there, Ms. Jones. It's devastating. But I am here to tell you, woman to woman. Let me, Mr. Bailiff, let me really talk to this woman, because she's in a very peculiar situation. And I'm being led, ma'am, to really pour into you what I know, what I've lived. Ma'am, the clock is not going to rewind for this man's infidelity and broken promise. And I know that hurts you, but do you want to be a mother? Do you want a family?
Yes.
You need to think long and hard, ma'am, about how much you are willing to sacrifice in order for you to be the mother. And I think you'd be a great mother. I can see that in your spirit and in your heart. You need to really consider how much you are willing to forego if motherhood is on your heart. Avail yourself. Science has provided you an option. It can provide you the family you want. And I know that's not the way you want to do it, Ms. Jones. God knows I also believe that a child should have a mother and a father. But under the circumstances, I just want you to look at your choices, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bailiff. The court has heard enough. I'm ready to make my ruling. Mr. Saunders, you promised this woman a family. You promised her that if she waited, if she followed your dream, if she put her heart's desires on the back burner for your timeline and comfort, she would be rewarded with up to 2 children. How do I know that? Because you admitted that you signed a paper to prove it. You broke that agreement, and you broke this woman's heart. As a result, she now is in a devastating position. You don't have the biological clock that she has, Mr. Saunders. So your future as a father looks very different than hers as a mother. I agree with you that Mr. Saunders is responsible for the cost of your egg retrieval, the subsequent medications, and the 1-year storage, because he made a promise and he broke it. The court is unwilling, though, to award you the $3,000 for your moving expenses. Let me tell you why. Now, I agree with you. He cheated. You decided to leave him. That's good. You could have stayed. But your decision to choose yourself is an expense that you have to bear. The court has decided to find in favor of the plaintiff, minus $3,000. That is the court's ruling.
Great judgment by Judge Ebony. I agree completely. I can see why she didn't award the $3,000, because breakup could happen and you have to move back. It was your choice to move in with him, to go across the country to the East Coast and be with the man who promised you the world. Then he cheated on you. And again, it was your choice to move back. God works in mysterious ways. And sometimes when we're in the urge of desperation and everything looks very dull, something happens, something so miraculous that it brightens up your whole life. And there is nothing impossible for God. Absolutely zero. Nothing. He can change your life in a split second like this. And maybe today she doesn't know what to do with herself and she doesn't have anyone. She's single. She's desperate. She wants to be a mother. But tomorrow, God's going to put her together with the person who's going to treat her well, who's going to love her, and who's going to start a family with her without any conditions. What did you guys think about this case? Please tell me what you think about the plaintiff, about the defendant. What would you do if you had your eggs frozen? Please put it in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.